If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made.
And be prepared. Luck is truly where preparation meets opportunity. So today's talk was about my childhood dreams, enabling the dreams of others, and some lessons learned. But did you figure out the head fake? It's not about how to achieve your dreams. It's about how to lead your life. If you lead your life the right way, the karma will take care of itself. The dreams will come to you.
But you got to go for it. And eventually you will overcome that fear. But the hard part is you got to take that first step.
Yeah.
You got to take that first step.
Because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up.
So I would encourage you to take risks now, do something bold. You won't regret it. Thank you.
I love energy. I love it. And I pursue it, and I want it. I want more of it, and it's just something I want.
If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope. The power of one person, a Washington, a Lincoln, King, Mandela, and even a young girl from Pakistan, Malala. One person can change the world by giving people hope. So if you want to change the world, start singing when you're up to your neck in mud.
Where do you start? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now. You initiate the action aggressively. You go.
I practice as if I'm playing the game. So when the moment comes in the game, it's not new to me.
It's like being a lion tamer, you know, and you got to be used to just walking in that cage very comfortably, you know, and
organize yourself is what I tell young comedians. And of course,
You need to work, if depending upon how well you want to do, and particularly if you're starting a company, you need to work super hard.
It's all about work. It's all about work. And that's why I say, if you don't love it, it's going to be drudgery to you.
So it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of worrying constantly. And
we just have to decide how we're going to respond to that. We cannot change the cards we are dealt, just how we play the hand.
So you're always going to be seeking and looking and going and trying to challenge yourself.
But I'm not afraid of it. And, I've always had the ability to separate one day from the next. And, I don't know if that's something that's innate or if it's something that you learn. But I always looked at that as being a strong point because
you will fail. You will likely fail often. It will be painful. It will be discouraging. At times it will test you to your very core.
That's what discipline is. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what's right.
Don't be afraid to try. The worst thing that can happen is it doesn't pan out the way that you envision it.
you got to be willing to crash and burn.
If you are not failing with some frequency in your life, you are not moving a frontier in your life. Because on the frontier, you're doing things that haven't been done before, and so you have to explore what works, and you learn what doesn't work.
and you will be tested because there are expectations, there are responsibilities, and there's pressures here. But I was just never afraid to fail.
And it teaches you bad things. It can also teach you good things. It's how you perceive those things.
And then just work like hell.
You just got to overcome it. So that's kind of, I guess, my theory here would be, if you're afraid of fighting and altercations, go train jiu-jitsu. If you're afraid of heights, work on some rock climbing. If you're afraid of the water, time to swim. It's time to surf. It's time to get out there. If you're afraid of pull-ups, if you're afraid of pull-ups, do pull-ups. If you're in squats, do squats. If you're afraid of public speaking, go speak in public.
I never feared about my skills, because I put in the work. Work ethic eliminates fear.
Yes.
So if you put forth the work, then what are you fearing? You know what you're capable of doing, what you're not.
And the advice I have for you is keep looking until you find that which you love doing and that which you do well.
Don't bail. The best of the gold is at the bottom of barrels of crap.
And by the way, anyone who came here tonight hoping to hear a shortcut to how to circumvent and get into a round so I can jump over that hurdle, I don't have to, there is none.
Because the idea isn't going to execute itself. And the book isn't going to write itself. And the weights out in the gym, they're not going to move themselves. You have to do it, and you have to do it now.
And you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it and you don't really love it, you're going to give up.
All you have to do is ring the bell to get out. If you want to change the world, don't ever ring the bell.
I've gotten away with that many times in the course of my career by being scared to death, cold, and wanting to go to sleep. But no, let's go. Let's keep going. Let's go around this corner.
Here and now. That's it. You want to improve? You want to get better?
You never stop learning. You believe in yourself.
I don't ever give up.
Did you dream big? Will you dream big?
The mental part is the hardest part, and I think that's the part that separates the good players from the great players.
If you want to change the world, you must be your very best in the darkest moments.
And so they would teach us at the infantry school, no matter how cold it is, Lieutenant, you must never look cold.
I'm not comparing myself to any of these people, believe me. But you wouldn't say to Picasso, when are you going to put those brushes down? Get rid of the canvas, you've done it.
All right? The brick walls are not there to keep us out. The brick walls are there to give us a chance to show how badly we want something.
A well thought out critique of whatever you're doing is as valuable as gold. And you should seek that from everyone you can, but particularly your friends.
You can't change the world alone. You will need some help. And to truly get from your starting point to your destination takes friends, colleagues, the goodwill of strangers, and a strong coxswain to guide you.
Because no matter how smart you are, you need a team of great people.
You have to relate to people on a very personal level. And I'm still afraid of losing that. Because I think that's the key to my own sanity as well as my continued success.
So cumulatively, I have gotten the feeling that I'm in this big family.
People have to help you, and I do believe in karma. I believe in paybacks. You get people to help you by telling the truth, being earnest. I'll take an earnest person over a hip person every day, because hip is short term. Earnest is long term. Apologize when you screw up.
You should take the approach that you're wrong. That you, the entrepreneur, are wrong. Your goal is to be less wrong.
So you can make good decisions. It's about having the discipline to control your ego so your ego doesn't get out of hand and control you.
So if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks.
When you screw up, apologize. There are a lot of bad apologies in America. A good apology has 3 parts. I'm sorry. It was my fault. How do I make it right? Most people skip that 3rd part. That's how you can tell sincerity.
Why do we have to be shocked into being motivated to lead? Why don't we just lead all the time?
Take that first step and make it happen.
Go forth and raise strong families, remembering that all you can ever leave behind is your reputation, your good works, and your children for the next generation. And let your dreams be your only limitation.
It will not be easy. Start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better.
So I say, take ownership. Take extreme ownership. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Get control of your ego. Don't hide your delicate pride from the truth. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad. Take ownership of your mistakes, take ownership of your shortfalls, take ownership of your problems, and then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved. Take ownership of your mission. Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future, and take ownership of your life. And lead. Lead. Lead yourself and your team and the people in your life. Lead them all to victory. Thank you.
Never say never, because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion. Thank you very much.
But energy, physical and mental energy, to me, is the greatest riches of human life.
So if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed.